Hello everybody and welcome back again. Part 3 of resurrecting Onion. Some people have asked why it's called Onion. Well, I've told you I've had a couple of these already. So the one before this was absolutely lovely. He went off down to Surrey to be a wedding car actually. Anyway, its name was Pickle. So it's kind of like a natural progression really. So Onion, Pickled Onion. That's why it's called Onion. Now, tomorrow, today is Sunday, tomorrow he goes off to an air-cooled specialist just outside of Spalding, who's going to sort the engine out for me, make sure the carburetor's all right, check the gearbox, all the mechanical bits and pieces and stuff like that. We're going to be following that, taking some regular bits and pieces. He's not going to be there for very long. He's going to be there for about 2 or 3 weeks. Then when he comes back, he's straight off to the body shop to have all that paintwork done. So what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to refurb the cupboards. So we're going to take out all of the units that are in here. So we're going to start off with taking that bad boy out over there. Now what I need to do is to be able to get to the nuts and bolts, and there are various bits and pieces dotted around. So if we go round to the other side, I'll show you where we're going to start. So if you can get in here and have a look on this bulkhead, you'll see that there's a bolt there, nut and bolt, and there's another one tucked inside of there. Now I've since learnt that these seats have been welded in place, which isn't marvellous, so I can't slide it forwards or backwards. So what we need is one 10mm spanner, not that difficult. Well, I just undo these, quite loose, that's not too bad. So we're going to undo that one and then try and get in. There we go, there's one. Now see if we're as lucky with this one. Not quite. There he goes, there he goes. We'll leave them down there, and now we're going to go back inside. Okay, so now we need to gain access to this a little bit. So what we need to do is we need to remove these little bits and pieces down here. That's not too difficult. So I cleaned this up, look, the bracket here a little while ago, and I'm pretty pleased with the outcome of that. That's rather nice. So we're just going to get the little table out of the way, take that right out. It'll just lift out, there we are, and then we can pop that out of the way for now. There we go, lift these out and we can see what we're up against here. Now in here is the cooker, which sits up there. There he is. Oops, drops down onto there. It's self-contained within this unit, so I don't need to remove it. It can stay there, it's absolutely fine. So we're just going to close that up, leave it where it is. The gas bottle would go underneath here, and you can see where all the connections are for it. Look, they're down there, but again, self-contained, I haven't got to worry about it. So what I need to do now is I need to remove these bolts here. As you know, we've took out the 2 little bolts from out the side there on the little bulkheads, and there was captive nut and bolts here, captive nut and bolt just here as well. So I've took them out. Now in theory what should happen is this fascia should lift out now, so let's see if that's correct. How about that? That was nice and easy, wasn't it? So there we are. So there's one bit. We're going to refurb all of this. You see where it was all painted green? Well, there we are. And we'll do something with this. Remember me telling you about the handles? Well, we've had a go at that, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. But we'll look at those in a bit. So just going to pop that over there. Now, obviously, realistically, this needs to come out before that does. It's exactly the same. It's got the 2 captive nuts and bolts just round the back there. Now with this one, there would also have been a big pipe going down to the outside for the sink, but that's long gone with this one. So I've already took those 2 out. So this is literally a case of, should be, just lifting it out. And it is. So I'm just going to take this one out and go and pop it in the garage. Okay, so this one's going to be quite a lot heavier because it's got the cooker in it and everything else. Let's see how we get on with it. Okay, so in theory, it should be loose. Yeah, there we go, look at that. Look at that, absolutely brilliant. So, I found a new spoon. I'm all right for dinner. Okay, so I've got to be quite careful with how I take this one out. Because obviously, as I said before, the cooker's in there and I don't want to damage it or anything. All that stuff you can see or hear underneath is the hookup for the cooker, obviously. And there it is. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. If you want to have a little look in there, that's what we've got there, look. I'm really pleased. I can do something with these when he's off at the body shop, take care of it, get it all ready for when he comes back. Absolutely marvellous. See you in a minute. In between takes there, the film crew have just pointed out that my backside is hanging out of my jeans. Sorry about that. Dirty jobs, old trousers, right? So let's see what we've got. What's going on in here? Come and have a look. So, do you know what? Do you know what? It's nice and solid. That's rather good news. There's my spoon. Look. It's not mine, but it is now. So, all good. Little vent hole there. So that's, I'm guessing for the gas, because that's where the gas canister sits on there. So I'm really chuffed. So there we are. Do I need to take this bit out? What do you think? Fascia, because obviously I could work on that while it's away as well. Yeah, do you know what? For what it's going to take, I'm going to pop the fascia off as well. So there we are. Anyway, the next episode will be all about refurbishing these cupboards because they're in a bit of a state. So looking forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for joining me.